Okay, so I'm going to be putting this quick hitch to the test now with this middle buster. I'm going to be breaking some ground here with the Kubota L3800. That's a 38 horsepower tractor. And you know, basically I got the sleeves here instead of the bushings. Really cheap. These things are like $3 each. And what I did here, because basically there's not enough length from here to here to hook this directly into the hook. Alright, so what I did is I used this little horseshoe contraption over here to make up the difference, and also it makes it pretty quick to get on and off. Now, if you want to get this on, what I have to do with this is first I have to hook the top one, and then basically I slide the bottom hooks into place, okay? So we're going to test this out. My concern was that this might not stay in place up here at the top, but I've already did break a little ground with it, and I see that that's not a problem. So far this setup is working pretty good with this $100 Harbor Freight quick hitch. So let's get on the tractor, try this out. Yeah. Kind of hard to make a straight line right now. I'm driving one-handed, holding the phone one-handed. I gotta back this up. It looks like I caught a bunch of grass there. I'm gonna pause this and work at this a little bit, but it's staying on. So yeah, it's doing it. It's not coming off. This is gonna work out fine, I think. So the Harbor Freight quick attach worked out pretty good for me with this middle buster. This was the only attachment that I was concerned that it may not work, but it worked out pretty good using this just using this little horseshoe thing over here. Now when I hook this up, what I usually do is I put the top attachment first, right? I hook that up, and then I attach the lower points, and I was able to use the middle buster to break this ground over here, you know, pretty comfortably. Initially I was going slow, you know, looking at it. Then I went up to the, you know, I did this in my middle gear. So I was very pleasantly surprised that I was able to get this middle buster to work with this Harbor Freight quick attach. My concern was that as I was pulling, you know, that this top link over here may not work out good, but it worked out fine. The one thing that you gotta be careful of is initially I had this in a little bit too tight, and what happened is this piece here came up and clipped this right here. Didn't break the lens, but it broke the plastic. So you gotta let this out just a little bit, so when it comes up, it goes just past that. That's the one thing you gotta watch out for. And the reason is because in order to get this to work, you gotta basically tilt this way in so that the plow ends up in the right spot. So because you gotta tilt that in, it increases the chance that if you come up, that's gonna hit that. But all in all, pretty good. Pretty happy with this. Very convenient. I hope you guys found this video useful. If you're not a member of the channel, subscribe. I'll talk to you guys soon. Hey, I wanted to add one more thing. On the landscape rake, it just turns out to be easier just to go to the top hook. Just works out a lot better that way. So I put the rake on because after I use the middle buster, what I do is I run the rake through, and what that does is it kind of pulls out like any loose rocks that come to the surface, or any you know, any grass clumps. So yeah, I use the rake to kind of comb out the stuff, comb out the weeds after I plow. So that worked out pretty good for me.